Okay, everyone. So I thought it was fun to start on our backs last time. So I'm going to suggest we do the same thing this week. So we'll come back onto our back and just relax for a moment in the Shavasana. So this posture is all about relaxation. So if for whatever reason you can't relax in this position, I do suggest you find another position that's relaxing. Sometimes just modifying it, like something under your knees, or maybe just bending your knees, placing the feet on the ground, that might help your back. So as always, it's important to understand the intention of a posture. There's nothing magic about the postures. The postures just work for most people for the intended purpose. So laying on your back for many people is relaxing, it's calming, it can be meditative. But if it's not for you, the important thing is to recognize that and to modify or find another position. So again, these are the kinds of things that if you run into a problem, just let me know. Reach out, let me know, tell me, and I can make suggestions about alternatives, okay? So let's start just relaxing. It's always a good idea to check the head and the heart. So where is our head at? Is it calm? Quiet? That's what we'd like. There might be thoughts, that's not a problem. But are the thoughts coming at a pace that we can acknowledge them, that we can be with them, that we can notice them? Or does it feel like a fire hose, like we're at the end of a fire hose? So this is how many people experience their thoughts in their mind, is a fire hose. It's like they're just being bombarded. Okay, if that's the case, that means something needs to be addressed. From a yogic perspective, from a spiritual perspective, it means something isn't right. That could be a temporary condition, but for many people in our culture, that is a permanent condition. They live constantly like that. And many people actually think that there's nothing they can do about that, that that's just the way it is, that's the way my mind is. No one's mind is like that if their mind is healthy, okay? So we just acknowledge if that's where we are, okay. Acknowledging it is the first step. Just like in the 12-step program, or if Alcoholics Anonymous, or in addiction recovery, first step is recognizing it. So if I recognize, yes, my mind is like I'm at the end of a fire hose, my thoughts are just bombarding me, it's nonstop, I feel very uncomfortable, that's excellent. That is a great first step to making change. Let's also notice the heart. These two tend to work together. By the heart, I mean emotionally. And generally, we feel emotions in the torso, in our viscera, in our organs. So we're just relaxing and allowing ourselves. Now, your mind may slap a label on something. Oh, you're anxious. Oh, you are depressed. Oh, you feel tense. You're stressed out. But if we slow down, we'll notice that all of these terms describe a state that our body is in actually. Now, again, if you don't meditate, if you haven't been doing yoga a long time, they may not be apparent at first. You might just think, no, I'm anxious. I feel anxious. But there's the key. I feel anxious. I feel. So again, even though we may not associate these feelings with our body, it actually is something we feel in our body. All emotions are actually something that we feel in our body. So just beginning to be present with those contractions, with those feelings, those sensations that might be there. Now, my hope for you is that you don't feel anything. You just feel great. That you're not at the end of a fire hose in your mind, and that you don't feel any kind of discomfort or contractions in your body. You just feel like $1,000,000. That's awesome. But if you don't, this is one of the reasons why we practice yoga. It doesn't mean that if you feel great, you can't practice yoga today or that it won't benefit you. It always will. But if you don't feel great in your heart or your mind, then this is another reason to practice than just beyond being physically fit. Let's start by doing our deep breathing. So like last week, we inhale belly, ribs, and chest. We exhale, we reverse that, okay? So that's called Dirga. All of you are very familiar with that technique. And again, if there's any trouble doing that, just reach out, let me know. We'll spend some time one-on-one with that. Once you've established the Dirga, you begin Ujjayi, which is the ocean sounding breath. So again, the sound needs to come from the throat. It's not a sniffing, it's not a sound. We don't want a sniffing sound, in fact. So when we're doing Dirga, we want to establish the breath is quiet. Then we intentionally add sound at the throat, okay? So we're never making that sniffing sound. We never want that. That's never desirable. It may happen, but it's not something we're creating intentionally. Okay, now that we have the breathing going, let's bring our leg in, and same as last week, we'll begin just by moving the leg around a little bit, feeling into that hip. What do we feel? And just like with our mind and our emotions, like hopefully we don't feel much of anything. It just feels good. That's the ideal. But I can tell you that's not what I feel. I definitely feel a little bit of tension, a little bit of some pangs of pain there. From there, we again begin to hold below the knee and straighten and bend the knee a little bit. So just feeling our way into those hamstrings. Okay? And then again, like last week, you can stay here with this, or if you feel comfortable, you can grab the foot and begin to work a little deeper. And today we're focusing on the adductors. So let's bring that leg out to the side. So it can be straight or bent, but you're just bringing that leg out, and you want to feel the stretch in here. These are your adductors. Now again, we're not going for a deep stretch right now. Nice and easy, gentle stretching. Okay, we're not trying to get our deepest stretch. That will come later in the class. So we're just warming it up a little bit. Let's switch sides. Same thing, we start with the knee bent, just moving that leg around a little bit. What do we feel? The breath is still deep, rhythmic, and slow. You all know I can't breathe like that and teach at the same time. So please remember, I'm not actually doing yoga. I'm teaching yoga. There is a difference. So to some degree, you want to do what I'm doing, but not in every respect. So your breathing should be very deep, rhythmic, and slow. You want to bring a lot of awareness to what you're doing and feeling as you begin to warm up. Okay? And then again, sort of the final level is holding that foot, which may be too much for some people. So again, we're beginning to work into that groin area, and that happens when we bring the leg out to the side, okay? Okay, let's go ahead and bring our legs in, and we can rock up to seated and then come into a tabletop and continue with our warm-ups. So let's begin moving the torso around a little bit. We're still breathing rhythmically and slowly. We're taking a cue from the yin yoga community here. This is called marauding bear. So instead of doing the cat-cow and being so structured, let's just move more freely and feel our back, feel our torso, shoulders and hips. So you can do all the same things we normally do. You can do this movement, you can do this twisting movement a little bit, but you can also just combine movements and move more freely That's what I feel like doing today, so that's what we're going to do. As many of you know, I think all of you know, on Friday my back was not doing so good, so I'm doing much better, but this is why I sort of can feel my back. What condition is my back in? So I want to know that before I do this practice. Okay, same thing with the down dog. This first dog, we walk it out. So this is not about a deep stretch. This is not about perfection. This is about beginning to feel those legs. So definitely feeling it in my calves. Last week, I felt pretty warmed up at this stage in my legs from the stretches, but this week I don't. So again, we're just paying attention to what we actually are experiencing and feeling in our body. Okay, when you're done warming up, we come into our full expression of the down dog. This is mine today. So hands shoulder width, fingers wide, chest drawing toward the toes, feet hip distance, and heels reaching toward the ground. Again, let's check that breathing. It should be deep, rhythmic, and slow. Good. With our next exhale, let's walk the feet toward the hands. We come into a ragdoll. Again, this is another opportunity for me to check my back. How's it feeling? So all through the weekend, any kind of forward folding like this, very painful. Very painful. So if that were the case, I might actually elect not to do the class with you guys today. So if I did this and I was like, ooh, my back, then I might not be able to do the class. And even if I could, it might not be a good idea. So again, as good and as therapeutic as yoga is for us, there is a time and place for everything. So there can be times when I, as a yoga practitioner, teacher, still need to refrain from doing certain yoga techniques, okay? Okay, arms relaxed. I inhale and gradually come on up to standing. And we'll continue as we often do with the sun salutations. So the feet touch. We inhale, arms up, standing back bend. Exhale, forward fold. We inhale to the half lift and exhale, top of our push-up. Let's make sure our alignment is good. So again, wrists directly below shoulders, shoulders engaged. Let's take a deep breath. We drop those knees, exhale halfway down. We take a breath or two here, feeling that strength in the upper body. And then exhale the rest of the way. Inhale to your first cobra. Now I definitely feel the back bend, but that's not a bad thing. I think that's actually a good thing. Exhale, we come on down, pushing back, tabletop, and then down dog. So because I feel the back bend, that means I'm not going to try necessarily doing my deepest back bends today, but I'm not going to avoid back bends either. I just find a little bit of sensation there, a little bit of discomfort, and that's what I'm looking for. Okay, let's inhale to the toes and exhale front edge of the mat. Inhale up to our standing back bend, and then as always, we'll grab that right wrist and exhale to our side stretch, just gentle. Again, we're still warming up, not looking for our deepest stretch. Inhale back to center and exhale forward fold. Inhale to a half lift and exhale again, top of your push-up. So again, this should be based very much on what you can do with proper form. So here's what a bad push-up looks like. Please watch your screen real quick. It looks something like this. I either do this, come halfway down, and then try and do the back bend, which looks like that. A lot of times that's how people do it. Or it looks something like this. I come down part way, and then I collapse down onto my belly. So just be honest with yourself. If either of those things are happening, go ahead, drop those knees. Otherwise, you're welcome. Keep your knees up. Take a deep breath. Exhale about halfway down. You can see my elbows are at my ribs. Inhale, straighten arms and legs for up dog. Again, I can feel my back here. And then exhale, pull both feet in, coming up and back to down dog. How's the breathing? It should still be deep, rhythmic, and slow. Okay, let's do one more. We're going to inhale to those toes. Exhale, front edge of the mat. We inhale up to our standing back bend. Good. We exhale to our side bend. Inhale center, exhale side bend. Inhale to center, and then exhale, sitting back in our imaginary seat, chair pose. So again, we're not really stretching anything here. This is mostly about form, strength, and again, creating a sense of kind of intensity or urgency in our practice. In yoga, that's called tapas. So if you feel really relaxed here, it's not exactly what we're going for. We want the body to be feeling an intensity, but we would like to relax the heart and the mind. Okay, so yeah, if I do it like this, I can relax, especially if I do it like this, right? So that's what we're not trying to do. We're trying to keep the heat on, but learn to relax inwardly even while we're experiencing the physical intensity. Good, let's inhale back up, standing back bend, and we exhale to our forward fold. Inhale to the half lift and exhale, if you can, bottom of your push-up. Inhale again, up dog or cobra. And exhale, push up on your way back out. So again, I'm trying to share more about my own experience in the hopes that it might help one of you. So as I'm repeating the back bends, I'm feeling less and less. That's a good sign, okay? If it were going in the opposite direction, then again, I might elect to start skipping them or even stop the practice at some point, okay? All right, beautiful work. Hopefully we're feeling warmed up. I know I am. So I'm feeling that heat that's coming from within. Spring feet to touch. We're going to inhale right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee to right arm. Try and make contact. I know that's not possible for everybody, but for a lot of people it is possible. They just don't make the effort. Okay? Good. Let's inhale that leg up and back. And then as we exhale, we're going to place that knee on the ground like so. And then we'll inhale into our first variation of the side plank for today's class. There are many variations of side plank, but this is the first one we're looking at today. Okay, so my shoulder is engaged. I really shouldn't have that much weight on my shoulder. Most of it is being borne by my knee. Generally, my knee is directly under the hips. You see, it's not perfect. That's not that important. Arm is straight up toward the ceiling, okay? And I'm looking up toward it. Good. Let's exhale that hand back down. We inhale back into a three-legged dog. And then exhale as we lunge. Now, once we've lunged, we're going to turn to face the side of the mat, okay? So we're facing the side of the mat. So I'm over at the right edge of my mat, but I'm facing the left side, okay? So try and do that on your end. I know that can get a little confusing. All right, from here, it doesn't really matter as long as you do it the same way on both sides. Okay, so from here, you can have your hands on the ground, which is where I'm going to keep them. Hands at your heart. You could also bring hands in the air. Some people like to get fancy, and that's fine. What we're looking for is a stretch in here. Again, this is our groin. This is one of the areas we're focusing on. You might feel it in here too. I do want to mention for some people, they might be way up here, and that's fine too, okay? So don't hurt your knee trying to get low. The torso plays a big role here, so moving your torso may affect what you feel here. Now for this first one, we're going to move. So let's take a nice deep breath here. So we exhale, we come over here. We want to stretch right in there. And then we inhale back, stretching in here. That's one. We're going to do 4 more just like it. 2, 3. I'm just kind of showing you where I want to feel it. 4. And if your breath is slower, then you're moving slower, okay? 5. Now we turn and vinyasa and come back to down dog. Again, you'll see me skip vinyasas, and that's so I don't run out of breath because I'm already starting to get a little bit breathless here, talking
and doing yoga is not a good idea. So again, teaching yoga is different than taking yoga. I am not taking or practicing yoga right now. I am teaching it. It's very different. Okay, everyone, feet touch. We inhale left leg up and back. Deep breath in. Exhale, touch the knee to the arm. Try and hold it there if you can. Okay, take a breath or two. Inhale that leg up and back. And then we exhale and we drop that knee down. Okay, so I'll do this from behind. It's probably okay, not facing the camera. Hopefully you can, maybe you'll get a little bit of a different perspective here. So again, are you collapsing in the shoulder? We should not be, because later we are going to be bearing weight with the shoulder. So we're getting in the habit of, in this position and in this pose, always having the shoulder engaged. Why? Because the muscles protect the joint. The muscles that surround a joint protect that joint when engaged. Good. Let's exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. So just a quick three-legged dog. And then we exhale and lunge, and then again turn. So again, I'll turn here because I'm facing the wrong direction. Okay. Okay. So again, you're over at the left edge of your mat, but you're facing the right side. Okay. The long side is the right side, and then this is the left edge. Okay. We want to feel the stretch in here. Again, you may have to play around a little bit to find it, especially since this is our second repetition. Let's take a nice deep breath. We exhale, stretch, and then inhale, stretch. Good, that's one. We're going to do 4 more. It's 2. Again, pointing the feet in different directions can make a big difference. 4. And again, you might be moving slower than me. That is absolutely fine. 5, you turn, and Vinyasa, making your way to down dog. Okay? Okay, beautiful work. Now, let's take a look at some upper body strengthening. Upper body strengthening is rarely a popular subject. Most people that are interested in that don't do yoga. They go to the gym, they lift weights. So a lot of yoga practitioners resist and do not like the subject or idea of strengthening their upper body. Here's the thing, it's important for your health. Doesn't matter what age you are or what sex you are. We all want upper body strength to be healthy, okay? And a minimum is just being able to do like some simple push-ups, which I teach class all the time. Many people can't do push-ups properly, okay? So we're going to take a look at that now. Let's inhale top of our push-up. Okay, so this is something we cover all the time. Now, if you need to drop your knees, you drop your knees. Just be honest with yourself if you need to, okay? This is not the pose. This is sort of like, oh, I put a little bend in my arms. It's not it. So let's take a deep breath. We're going to exhale, come halfway down, hold, breathe, take a breath or two, and then inhale back up and back to the downward dog. Now again, depending on your upper body strength, how long you've been practicing, other factors, that might be really easy for some. For many people, it's very challenging. It's not super challenging for me, but it is a challenge. It's not the easiest thing I've done today. Let's do that again. So we inhale, top of our push-up, exhale halfway down, take a breath or two, holding. Then inhale, push back up, and exhale back to down dog. So again, I can feel it in my breath, right? That's what I'm measuring. I feel the heat. I can tell my breathing becomes more labored. I can feel my heart rate goes up. So even if I can do it, it is definitely having an impact. Let's do one more. Again, you drop the knees if you need to, but we're going to bend those arms. That's the most important thing. Bend those arms, hold and breathe. Good. Inhale back up. Exhale back to the down dog. If you're doing down dog properly, down dog should be more easy and relaxing than what we just did. Down dog is meant to be relaxing and restorative here. Okay, let's inhale to our toes. Exhale, front edge of our mat. We inhale to our standing back bend. We exhale to our side stretch. Going deeper now maybe if you feel that's appropriate because we're warmed up some. Inhale back to center. We exhale to our chair. Inhale, standing back bend, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale right to the bottom of your push-up. Again, I'm going to skip it because I'm already getting winded. Okay, great work, everybody. Let's bring our feet to touch here. We're going to inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee. Just tap the right arm, then inhale that leg up and back. Exhale the knee to your nose, chin, or forehead. Just hold it and take a breath. Good. Inhale the leg up and back. And as last time, exhale that knee to the ground and inhale to your side plank. So the gaze is a part of the pose. You want to look up. I might not all the time because, again, I'm teaching. I'm not doing yoga. So I might look at the camera to look to see what position my body's in. Okay, and that's fine. You can look for a moment, but then you want to look back up. Okay, next variation, if you feel up to it. Again, this shoulder is active. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, put it down. Good. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, put it down. Continue. Excellent. Exhale, come on back down. And then inhale that leg up and back. Exhale as you lunge. And then inhale to a warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Okay, so this is one we've done before, definitely. Front foot and knee point straight ahead. Again, this thigh is getting as close to parallel as it can. It's about it for me. I could, push it and go deeper, but I feel like I'm starting to lose stability when I do that. Yes, I can do it technically, but this feels a little better. I'm still working, but I feel a little more stable. That's important. Fingertips are reaching out, so the arms are parallel with the ground. Gaze is over the front fingertips. Breath is deep, rhythmic, and slow, right? Good. We exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up. I guess I'll turn so that I can continue facing the camera on the other side, okay? All right, side two, feet touch. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, touch the knee to the left arm. Inhale that leg up and back. Exhale to the center, hold and breathe. Good, inhale that leg up and back. Exhale the knee to the ground and inhale to your side plank, right? Now again, shoulder is engaged and you could stay here or inhale, lift that right leg, exhale, put it down. Good, with the breath. Good, exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Drop that back heel. Inhale to warrior two. The exact angle of this foot should be based on what you feel. Generally, you're going to find the right position through experimentation. We generally don't want it pointing backwards, I'll say that much. But anywhere from straight ahead to angled in is fine. Some teachers will disagree, and that's okay. So if you're taking a class, teacher tells you to put your foot in a certain direction, unless it hurts, I would recommend just listening to them during their class. Good, let's take a deep breath. We exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of our push-up. And we make our way to down dog. Okay, so we're going to look at an arm balance next. If you feel like that's beyond your scope today, then what I want you to do is work on this. Again, try a breath or two. Maybe you add breaths, and then you push back and come back to your down dog, okay? That's gonna help you build up the strength to do things like arm balances. Is it important that you do arm balances? Yes and no. They're a great way to build upper body strength, coordination. It works your vestibular system. So are they a valuable exercise for us? Absolutely. Is it a good way for us to strengthen the bones and muscles in our upper body? Absolutely. Are there other ways to do that? Yes. But this is the way we do it in this class. So is it a good idea to learn them, to make the effort? Absolutely it is. So let's start with the most basic arm balance of them all. We've done this one before, okay, but it could be the first time you're able to do it. This is called crow pose, Bakasana. So elbows are bent. We want about a 90-degree. Don't worry too much about being perfect, okay? Just roughly 90-degree angle here at the elbow and at the wrist too. Very important. We want the elbows, wrists, and shoulders basically stacked. Again, it's not perfect, okay? So you don't have to, it's just we don't want this. We don't want this, okay? We want to stack everything up. Now these are called chaturanga arms, okay? So we have our chaturanga arms, and we're gonna put them on the ground, and what everybody does is this. Well, those aren't chaturanga arms, those are straight arms, okay? So, in order to bring them to the ground, I need to lift my hips and tilt forward. You see the angle? I haven't lost that. Now, shins against the back of my arms. Hands are shoulder width. Again, elbows are tucked in. I look up and not down. Now, here's the next step. Take your time with it. Try lifting one set of toes. See how you feel. Okay, if your arm collapses, then probably it's a little too much. You should work on those low planks today. Okay, but if there's no collapse, try lifting the other arm. See how it feels. And then you can just keep playing with that. This is a great exercise unto itself. Okay, you just play around with this. You're building upper body strength. Trust me. You're also working your balance. However, hopefully one day you feel like, you know what? Why can't I just lift both toes? I can. Okay, and that's the full expression of the pose. Again, there are other ways to achieve the same results, but this is a great way to achieve the results we want to achieve. So a lot of it for many people is just mental. I can't do that. That looks hard. It's mostly mental for many, many people. It's not strength. It's not balance. It's just all up here. Okay, wonderful work. Let's come back to our down dog. And from our down dog, we're going to inhale to the toes. We exhale front edge of the mat. Inhale to our standing back bend. We exhale to our side stretch. Inhale center, exhale side stretch. Inhale center, exhale chair. Inhale standing back bend, exhale forward fold. Inhale half lift, or you can insert the crow here. You work on it. Exhale bottom of the push-up. So what do I mean work on it? I mean even if it's not perfect, you try inserting it there. You see if you can get into it. Okay, practice makes progress. So you keep practicing. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's perfect already, you may not need to do it much anymore. Okay, feet touch. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right knee, right arm. Just tap it. Inhale. Exhale, center. Tap. Inhale. Exhale, opposite arm as high as we can. We're holding it there and breathing. Good. Then we inhale that leg up and back. And now I'm going to turn. Okay, what we're going to do is put that foot down like this. Okay, so it's not quite a full lunge. And then we come into a modified side plank. Okay, again, very important. The shoulder's working. I have a straight line here. Is this too much for you? Then you drop that knee as before, okay? But hopefully it's not too much. We're looking up, more weight in the shoulder. These muscles are now engaging, okay? So it's much closer to the full side plank. So exhale that hand down. I'm gonna have to turn again. We inhale that right leg up and back. Exhale and lunge. We inhale to a warrior two. Good. Exhale there. Then inhale coming up. This is called stupa. It's just kind of a transition. And then we exhale to goddess. Okay. So the feet and the knees are pointing in the same direction. Okay. The arms are basically mirroring what we're doing in those legs. Good. From there, let's inhale back up. And then we exhale to warrior two facing back. And we'll just create a little flow here. I'm going to go through that a few times. Now try and find that stretch in the inside of the thighs in the warrior two. Not in stupa. You're not going to feel it in stupa, but in goddess. See if you can find the stretch. Inhale back up. And then again, warrior two. See if you can find that stretch. Good. And then exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up, making your way to the down dog, okay? Okay, let's try the other side, feet touch. We inhale left leg, exhale left knee, left arm, just touch. Inhale, exhale center, inhale, exhale opposite arm, holding there if you can for a breath or two. Inhale the leg up and back. Now exhale, foot to the ground. It's not a full lunge. Roll onto the side of the foot and stack those arms looking up. Again, so this is another way to modify the side plank much closer to the full version. We're using more of the same muscles. That's what makes it closer. It's not that it looks closer, it's that it engages more of the muscles that we use for the full pose. Good, we exhale that hand down, inhale the leg up and back, and exhale as we lunge. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Again, I'm going to have to turn. So we inhale to warrior two, exhale there, and then inhale up to stupa. Exhale to goddess. So again, heels under the knees and toes point in the same direction. All right. And then we inhale back up. We exhale to warrior two facing back. Feel the stretch if you can. Inhale up. So you may have to go deeper as we repeat in order to feel the same stretch. That's very common. That's to be expected. Now, when do you stop going deeper? When you feel the stretch or when you feel like you might hurt yourself. Okay, so even if you don't feel the stretch, but you're feeling like you might injure yourself doing that, then you're going to stop there. Okay, I hope that everybody knows that. Okay, from here, let's take a look at some balance. So we inhale to our toes. Exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale up to standing back bend. And then we exhale the right elbow under the left, palms at the face. If you cannot do this, and many people can't, you're going to do that instead, okay? But notice again, the elbows are stacked like that. Good, take a nice deep breath. Exhale, sit back in an imaginary seat, and inhale the right knee over the left. Now, if you can't wrap the toes, you can use these toes for balance. You can have it up in the air And again, some people can wrap the toes around. So we want the hips facing forward. We're dropping the hips down and we're drawing our elbows toward our knees. Now we don't necessarily want to touch them. So we don't necessarily want to fold over here, okay? This is pretty much the full expression of what we want to do today. You can see I'm losing my balance. Okay, let's inhale back up, standing back bend, and then exhale opposite side. So left under right, and then inhale left over right, and then exhale as we kind of compress down into the posture. Good. Inhale back up, deep breath in, and exhale to a forward fold. Just empty those lungs. Inhale, half lift. Again, you can do crow there, and exhale right to the bottom of your push-up. Okay? Okay. So, feet touch. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, right arm. Inhale. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale, opposite arm, kick it out. Inhale, fallen triangle. So this is a pose we do in almost every class. Great preparation for the side plank. It doesn't require balance. It does require strength in this shoulder, okay? Exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. And from there, we again exhale that foot to the ground. So again, I'm going to turn just for the sake of the camera. Okay, the sequence is odd and, or challenging in terms of facing the camera the whole time. Good, so we inhale to our modified side plank. Okay, and now what we'd like to do is add a little bit of movement. So how we do that is we exhale, lower the hips and hand. We inhale, we lift up. Good. Exhale. So what this will do is both stretch and strengthen those muscles in our side called the obliques. So when we come down, we're working one set. When we come up, we're working the other. Let's just do 5 here, okay? Good. From there, you return the hand to the ground. Inhale the leg up and back. And exhale as you lunge. So again, I'm going to have to turn. You don't need to. And then from there, let's go ahead and inhale to our warrior 2. Exhale. So we inhale, we straighten that front knee. Okay, the front toes are pointing straight ahead. Again, this foot can be at an angle or pointing straight ahead, just not pointing back. Okay, we pivot those hands. Exhale, lengthening the sides. So I want you to focus on here. Notice my sides are nice and long. Okay, now that's about it for me. If I keep going, I'm going to start rounding. So that's about as far as I can go. And then I pivot my hands, and that's my triangle. I've had teachers try and push me further. That's really as far as I can go and keep the integrity of the posture. So sometimes their looks are deceiving. People see me, I'm thin. They think, you know, oh, he can go into a pretzel and he's more flexible than that. I'm really, there's a strain here, right here, I feel it. Okay, and that's something a teacher can't see by looking at me. So this is one of the problems with just thinking that teachers can know everything by looking at you. They can't. They really can't. Okay, let's inhale back, up, and exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up. And we're going to make our way to the other side. So feet touch. Inhale, left leg. Exhale to the arm. Inhale. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale, opposite. Kick it out. Inhale. Fallen triangle, right? And again, the modification, if it's too much, just like side plank, that knee comes down. Good. Exhale the hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, foot to the ground. Inhale to modified side plank. Okay, so let's see if we can stretch and strengthen our obliques. So exhale, lower the hips and the hand. Inhale, reach and arch. Now, some of you have heard me say in the past, in side plank, you don't arch. that's right. You don't. But in this exercise, we do, because it's not just a side plank, okay? So we're going, you might say, beyond side plank when we're doing this dynamic version. Good. Let's exhale that hand down. Inhale, leg up and back. Exhale as we lunge. And then we'll inhale again to our warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Good. From there, with the next inhale, I straighten that knee. All right, pivot the hands. And I reach and reach and reach. Again, watch my sides. So, anything further, like I can go further, but you see how now my shoulder's rolling forward? I can put my hand all the way on the ground. Look at that. But look at my form. Okay, so that's not where my triangle lives. It lives up here. I actually feel a more intense stretch up here than I do down here, okay? It's very important to understand. I get everything I need here. What I don't get is ego gratification. Oh, look, my hand's on the ground. I'm an advanced yoga practitioner. Has nothing to do with it, okay? Let's inhale back up, and we exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up as we make our way to down dog. So putting your hand on the ground, binding, all these kinds of things have nothing to do with being an advanced yoga practitioner. Okay, inhale toes, exhale front edge of the mat. We inhale up to our standing back bend. Now we exhale, arms out like wings, we bend those knees, and then we're going to inhale the right ankle over the left thigh, okay? Now I drop down and I'm looking to stretch the outside of the hip here, okay? So it's like a pigeon pose. You can join index finger and thumb, creating Jnana Mudra. The more my hips come down and the closer my chest gets to my shin bone, the more stretch I feel in the outside of my hip. This foot is flexed to help protect the knee. Good, inhale back up and exhale. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, now very important, no pain in either knee, no pain. Again, sometimes if you come down, you feel pain, you can oftentimes just back off a little bit and feel better, okay? But if that's not the case, then maybe you skip this one today and you repeat the posture we did earlier, okay? Garudasana, eagle pose. Good, let's inhale all the way up and back. We exhale, forward fold. Inhale to the half lift and exhale, bottom of your push-up, okay? Good. From there, we bring our feet to touch. Inhale, right leg up and back, bend the knee, open the hip, and if you'd like, you flip your dog over. Again, we're using the shoulder muscles, but different ones. Okay, so great, again, way to strengthen the shoulder, but we need to make sure we can do that safely. And part of that is strength. So sometimes we need to strengthen first. Good, let's exhale, hand to the ground, and we bring that foot down, and we take a look this time at side plank, okay? So feet touching, I stack and roll over into a full side plank. Now again, if that's too much, I bring this foot and repeat this, okay? Otherwise, I'm here taking a few breaths. Good. Let's exhale back to our down dog. And from our down dog, we inhale right leg up and back. Exhale as we lunge. We inhale up into a warrior two. Okay, straighten the knee, pivot the arms. Exhale to a triangle. Okay, and then looking down, I bend that front knee. And with the next exhale, I transition into balancing half moon. Okay, not the rotated balancing half moon, just full balancing half moon. So same as the side plank, that hip and shoulder rolling back. I'm looking up if I can. Good. Exhale, bottom of your push-up. as you make your way to down dog. Okay, down dog, feet touch. We inhale left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, and again, if it makes sense, it may not. I do this, wild thing. Again, when I move my shoulder, again, many of you know I've had a shoulder thing. It's getting better and better. That's what I want to see. That means I can continue doing what I'm doing to heal completely. Okay, exhale. And from there, I come into a down dog, bringing my feet to touch. All right. And then I roll into my full expression of side plank. Again, this is not side plank. That's side arch. So everything lines up, straight line as much as possible. Good. Exhale, return to down dog. Inhale that left leg up and back. Exhale as you lunge. Again, I'll turn for the sake of the camera. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended triangle. Looking down, inhale, bend the front knee, and exhale as gracefully as you can to your balancing half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. There are several poses called half moon in yoga, so don't get too tied up with the names. Okay, so notice my leg is parallel with the ground. You could also have it in line with your torso, but I don't quite have that flexibility, so parallel with the ground works. And again, I'm trying to keep that left side of my body nice and long. Good. Let's exhale. Return that hand to the ground, making our way back to down dog. Okay, beautiful work. From here, let's inhale to our toes. Exhale, front edge of the mat. Let's inhale back up to our standing back bend. We exhale to this position, which we already learned. Inhale, right knee over left, foot is flexed. Okay, now we're going to take a look at a pose called Galavasana. So keep the legs as they are. See if you can bring your hands down. Now remember, we learned chaturanga arms earlier. See if you can do that here. You bend those arms. Notice my toes are wrapping around my upper arm. Okay, so it's going to hold my leg in place. I look up, not down, and then I just find the balance point. The balance point is where my toes begin to lift. A lot of times that's not the point where you feel safest. Okay, it's the point in which you begin to tilt forward. So it's scary. But see if you can find that point and then lift the back toes. This is the first stage, all right? The full expression of the pose looks like that. All right, but if you can do the first stage, that is awesome. Again, you're getting a lot of the benefits at the first stage. You get benefit just by trying. So remember to try your best. It's creating adaptations in your body. Let's do the other side. Okay, so I'm going to do it from the side. Inhale up, exhale, bend those knees. Inhale, the opposite leg over. Okay, so on this side, that's going to be your left leg. I was mirroring you, so it's my right. Hands to the ground, hook the toes, look up, find the balance point, and lift the back leg. Now, the back leg actually works as a counterbalance. So again, if you're afraid of falling forward, straightening that leg behind you if you can actually helps keep you from falling forward. Okay, great work, everybody. Let's take a child pose. Let's take a nice deep breath. We're going to walk those hands over to the left until we feel a stretch in our right waist and ribs. Good. Let's inhale back to center. Exhale off to the other side. This is an area we targeted a lot today. So find the stretch. Breathe into it. Good. Let's inhale back to center. Coming up to a seat, we cross those ankles, bring our legs out. Let's just do one back bend today. So we'll inhale our arms out, exhale as we roll back. Okay, so we'll do a bridge with the option for a wheel. Feet and knees hip distance, hands on the ground. We inhale, lift those hips. Interlace fingers, join the palms, shrug one shoulder under, and then the other. If you know wheel pose, you want to option that pose, go right ahead. Keep lifting those hips, squeeze your butt. Some yoga teachers might tell you not to squeeze your butt. I'm telling you to do that. Use those glutes. It's what they're meant for. Good. Exhale, coming down, nice and easy. Drop the knees in. That's called constructive rest. And when you're ready, let the hips or the knees drop side to side. That'll rock your hips a bit. Do as many of those as you like. When you're done, bring those legs in and just some gentle movements here. So again, reporting on my back feels very good. Okay, it probably feels better now than it did before the class. And again, that's exactly what I'm looking for in my recovery, in my therapy. Okay, even if temporarily, maybe it would temporarily feel not so good, as long as in the next, I don't know, 48 hours, 72 hours, if it got better, if I bounced back and I felt better, then that would be a good sign. That would encourage me to continue doing what I'm doing. Okay, arms out to the side. I drop the knees, look away from them in a simple spinal twist. So if that happened, that might mean a few things. One is the type of therapy that I was choosing was not appropriate. Or sometimes it means, again, it's maybe not appropriate at this stage or time. So sometimes we need to recover a little bit, get our inflammation down before it makes sense. So probably doing this practice on Friday would have been bad. It would have actually made me worse, not better. Let's inhale knees through center. We're going to exhale them off to the other side. So it's important to keep context in mind. When are we doing something? How much are we doing? How long are we doing it? Again, when a doctor gives you medicine, she tells you how often to take the medicine, how much, and for how long. These are very important. Okay, let's bring those legs back to center. You can grab the soles of your feet. Happy baby, give yourself a little stretch. Right, and when you're ready to relax, you unwind onto your back in Shavasana. Set a timer for 6 minutes on your phone. Close your eyes and see if you can just let your body be still for the next 6 minutes.